Ecuador was, as Ecuadorians like to say, an island of peace, and now it's become the exit point for the cocaine from Colombia and Peru to the rest of the world. It's turned Ecuador, one of the most peaceful countries in Latin America, into one of the most violent countries on the continent. People in Ecuador are terrified. The situation in the last few days has been unprecedented. After the prison escape of the notorious gang leader Adolfo Macias, alias Fito, who is the leader of Los Choneros, which is probably one of the most dangerous gangs in Ecuador, and there are quite a few. More than 130 prison guards were taken hostage in prisons. Videos are purporting to show the killing of police officers. The television channel TC Televisión, which was invaded by heavily armed gangsters while it was live on air. Camera operators and journalists being interrupted by men carrying shotguns, dynamite, grenades, and automatic weapons.
Estamos luchando por la paz nacional, estamos luchando también contra grupos terroristas que hoy en día son más de 20,000 personas los que los conforman.
Really, from 2017 onward, there was a really steep rise in violent crime in Ecuador.
Deadly gang violence has again taken hold in Ecuador's overcrowded prison system.
The homicide rate, according to some studies, increased fivefold. There has been a big infiltration of organized crime into public institutions, and now it's become the transit country for the international cocaine trade. The change of government in Ecuador has really been the catalyst of this latest wave of chaos. Daniel Noboa, who came to office on the promise of dealing with violent crime being the number one concern for citizens, is trying to say that those days are over. Gang leaders are going to be treated like as the common criminals and highly dangerous criminals that they are.
Presencia militar en las fronteras, presencia militar en los puertos de contenedores, porque por ahí pues sale la droga y entra el contrabando.
As a result, we're seeing many people on the wrong side of the law feeling threatened by this. They have reacted in the way they know best by trying to sow terror and acts of violence.
Estamos en un momento de una zozobra, no sabemos qué hacer, si venir a trabajar o no venir.
I think Ecuador is at a crucial moment right now. It's on a knife edge. This has been said by politicians. This has even been said by Daniel Noboa. You know, Ecuador is a narco state, and perhaps not too far off becoming a failed state. And I think that's reflected by the figures we've seen in terms of migration recently. Ecuadorians were the second biggest nationality crossing the Darien Gap between Panama and Colombia. This very perilous stretch of jungle. It just shows you how many Ecuadorians are deciding to leave the country and seek a better life elsewhere. And I think apart from obviously the economic situation, there's economic stagnation, there's very high unemployment. That is part of the problem. But I think the threat of violent crime and finding themselves very much at the mercy of the gangs and unprotected by the authorities, many of them are making that tough decision to leave their families behind in many cases and seek a future elsewhere.